your show
All right.
now, press
Here we
1.
go,
To
y'all.
hear important instructions,
Daily
press
Go
2.
Getimism Show. The State of the Union in your own life. Your annual review. What y'all talking about? What you
Since it
know?
appears you're calling back into a live show, we are
Let's rock with
reconnecting
it.
you now.
I'll explain. I'll explain about the pleasure and the pain we talk about tonight. Stay in lane. We make sure that we gotta do what we have to do. Tell the truth. If you really doubt you, yo, if you had to give a review of the whole year, would you be able to tell the truth and say yeah? Well, tonight, as some of y'all may know, and even more y'all may care about, the State of the Union address is tonight on TV. So on all platforms, all networks, all local networks, and all of that kind of stuff, the President of the United States will be talking about what his accomplishments have been in the past year, and basically where the government stands in terms of its citizens, its place in the world, its position, and what we have to look forward to based on what we have done in the year of review. Well, what if you had to do that in your own life? Now, here we are, a month and some change removed from the beginning of the year, the very beginning of the year. I'm talking about the Happy New Year. If all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind, if all acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on old lang syne. Well, after the year starts, the question really becomes, have you gotten started on what you said that you wanted to do? And are you still at it? A month and some change later, it's past Groundhog Day. What you say? Are you ready to get this thing, put it in play? Are you on your way to doing what you said you was going to do? And have you to start to remove all the bad habits that you had from the year before and the year before? Are you going for more? Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. What if you had to do the State of the Union in your own life, a State of the Union address? What if your family, your friends, co-workers, neighbors, and all of that kind of stuff, what if they were hanging on your every word about what you did last year in the way of accomplishments? Not just what happened to you last year. We don't want to hear that you had an accident, you got sick, or you got you got sidetracked, or this person didn't help out, or any excuses that you may have been able to come up with. The question, if somebody asks you, what did you do last year to push yourself farther than the year before? What did you do in 2022 better than you did in 2021? Would you be able to handle that question? We actually have to do this in our annual review at work. And if you have ever worked in HR, or if you've ever been in management and you've had to give a review or basically give an evaluation of employees, you know that there are so many employees that do not understand what the annual review is supposed to be for. Many of us think it's for our job, the job that we do, not for the company that we work for. They do not get it. It is for the company that you work for. This is just a FYI for all you working class people out there. When you get your annual review, keep in mind that they really want to know what you have done to push your company that you work for forward. What have you done to make them more money? Have you played within the rules that you were supposed to on your own job? Because actually, that would work. But a lot of people, I've heard all kinds of strange things in somebody's annual review. They want to talk about the social climate, how they get along better with blah, 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 and how they don't, drink on the job anymore, smoke on the job anymore, get high on the job anymore, leave the job early things like that, which, are rules that you are supposed to follow. But if we were talking about your personal life, your professional life, and to mix both of those into it, what would you be able to say about the needle that you have moved in the past year? Would you be able to give us a State of the Union address? This is what you're going to hear in about an hour and a half. In about an hour and a half, you're going to see Joe Biden get up there and he's going to talk about the economy. He's going to really, really try to stay on the economy. He's going to talk about how gas prices have been able to be stabilized. What he's going to stay away from is, yeah, well, we haven't been able to get it down under $3 a gallon, but we have been able to get it down from $4 and close to $5 a gallon in the states besides California. He's going to talk a lot about that. He's going to talk about how he's helped Ukraine fight against evil Russia. He's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about how he's been able to get people's salary wages increased. He's going to talk a lot about the economy, but he's going to talk a lot about the things that he has done. Some of those things you may know about. Many of those things you may not know about. Because like when Donald Trump was president, he talked about what he was doing or what he had done time and time again. Like every time he had a mic in his face, it was like he was giving a State of the Union address. Well, Joe Biden or no other president has ever been like that. But, but in 4 years, you kind of got used to that. Many of the American public got used to that. So when you go back to the way that things used to be, it may not be so obvious about the accomplishments. Oh, you know what Joe Biden is going to talk about tonight? He's definitely going to talk about trying to get rid of student loan debt and the obstacles that he came up against. Yeah, he's going to say, we had it right there, ready to go. And trust me, we're going to get it done this year. We are getting it done. He's going to talk about how they fought against Roe v. Wade and how the fight is still going on to get Roe v. Wade reinstated. He's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about the things that he's trying to do a little bit, but he's going to talk a lot about the things that he has done. And a lot of people don't think that he's done very much, but he actually has done a lot, especially against all odds. You know what I mean? But that's him. What if it was you? What if it was you? The State of the Union address on your personal life. Yeah, well, I said last year that I wasn't going to date nobody that wasn't trying to marry me. Some of y'all going to be like, well, that's actually true. I ain't date nobody. I scared niggas off from the gate. I got ironclad proof that niggas is scared of marriage, especially when it comes to me. Maybe a few of y'all might say, well, I dated a few. I told them what my intentions was. They couldn't fall in line with that, but we had a couple of good times, but I didn't get serious with them. That's something I did. I didn't get serious with anybody that wasn't serious with me. That's what I did last year. And I moved to Atlanta. And I moved to Atlanta. And I got my passport. Yes, I did. And I I didn't get pregnant last year. You know what I mean? Some chicks, that's a big thing. I don't know if y'all know. A lot of chicks, especially young girls, back in the day, they used to be getting pregnant almost every year. Not saying that they had a baby every year, but they might have got knocked up every year. I didn't have to use Plan B one time last year. You might talk about your job. You might talk about how maybe you moved up in position. Maybe you went back to school. Maybe you finished your degree. Maybe you finished your associates and are now going for your bachelor's. Maybe you finish your bachelor's and you're now on your way to your master's. Maybe you finish your master's and are now on your way to your PhD. Whatever the case may be. Maybe you bought a house last year. No more rent for you. Or maybe you moved out from a place that you were paying rent, but wasn't on the lease. You got your own place now. I wouldn't care if it was the projects. You got your own place. I ain't mad at nobody who lives in public housing, as long as the public housing that you have is a place that you can afford and that you're striving to do better. Because the only thing, well, I ain't gonna say the only thing. One of the worst things about public housing is that you are around other people who are using public housing, and many of those people may not be using public housing to ever have their own private, personal places. Another bad thing about public housing is that sometimes they have people who are actually paying a mortgage living in the exact same house, the exact same designed house as people who are on Section 8. And that ain't right. That ain't right. There have been places that didn't disclose that. So you thinking that everybody that you moved in, you done paid 150 grand on this house. That's what you're paying. Meanwhile, the people that you living around, paying, I don't know, $150 a month for rent. Now it all makes sense. How come, they throw Pampers out on the front lawn or out in the backyard. They can't keep a screen door on they shit, or you hear them getting into all kinds of crazy arguments and fights, and yeah, because they don't own their stuff and they don't care about it, and you do, and you're paying for yours. So anyway, but maybe you got your own place. Maybe you finally got your own place. Maybe last year you got your kids back. Yeah, ma. DHS, CPS, DIFAS, whatever child protective services in your state determined that you were an unfit mother. So they took your kids away from you for a little while, put them in foster care where they could be better taken care of until you got yourself together, until you either learn to stop being abusive or learn to get off drugs. You had to stop getting high. It happens. It's not a common thing that happens to all of us, but it definitely happens to people that we know. And y'all know how we look at them a certain kind of way, like, you know what I mean? Listen, man, if you a mother, you can't take care of your babies. I don't know what to tell you. I ain't got no defense for you, ma. But it happens. So, being as though it happens, maybe you got your kids back last year. Maybe if you're a man, maybe you got your kids back last year. Maybe you're able to see your children this year. Maybe you got your child support straightened out. You got your license back last year. For years, that was the accomplishment I was looking for. I was actively trying to do that from like 2015 to 2019. It took that long. Probably wouldn't have took that long if I would have got started in 2013. But I didn't. So me getting back my full driver's license was an accomplishment. But I wasn't thinking about the State of the Union address in my personal life back then. So since we're thinking about it right now, what do y'all think? What would the State of the Union address in your life be? For these show purposes, of course, you don't have to be specific. You don't owe anybody to tell anyone what's going on or what you are doing in your personal life, but there may be some things that you can speak about. We're gonna go ahead and do that tonight. So you got your license back. That's what's up. That's a good thing. You got your own place. That's a good thing. You got your kids back. That's a good thing. You went back to school. Maybe you finished high school. You've been making it out here all of these years with no high school diploma. You went back and got your GED. That's a high school diploma. That's a good thing. Proud moment for you. Education, finishing your education on any level. Yeah, hold on. Let me talk about that for a minute. Because I've heard people down people who went back and got their GED or didn't get their GED until they went to jail or whatever. Let me tell you something. Finishing your education on any level is a big accomplishment. Big. I don't care if you flunked a grade, flunked 2 grades. You know how embarrassing and devastating to a child it can be to flunk a grade watching all of your classmates go on and you back in that same class. Well, some people have done it twice. And some people have done it 3 times, and that was why they dropped out. They said school wasn't for them. More than likely, they had an unaddressed learning disability that nobody seemed to acknowledge or do anything about, but they had a problem concentrating, grasping the material and passing the classes. You remember back in the day, if you flunked twice, then they would just push you to the next grade. Like, yo, you're not going to be in these same classrooms, 3 years in a row. They would just push you on. And now we have the No Child Left Behind thing or whatever, left over from the Bush era, whatever. But the bottom line is, you may have dropped out of school or whatever to sell drugs, be on drugs, get a job, have a baby, whatever the case may be. So going back and finishing your high school diploma is going to make you feel good, because at least when you go to get a new job, if that's what you choose to do, you'll be able to put on your job application high school graduate. It don't ask was it a GED or a real high. It doesn't ask that. It asks highest level of education accomplished or something like that. High school diploma. You did it. All right. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. But that might be something that you did last year. Maybe you just wanted to go back to school. Maybe you started off in college when you was 18 years old, fresh out of your mom's and your dad's house. You couldn't handle that freedom, went up to school, started drinking, partying, getting high, going to other, you started traveling everywhere except to your classrooms. You know how it is. You go away to school, you start meeting people from New York and DC and down south and all of that. You go to all of your classmates, places where they live, where they from. You done been in New Orleans, Atlanta, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, up to NY and Chicago and Indianapolis and places like that over to Ohio. Y'all done went on all kinds of road trips while you was in school. Your ass was home on academic probation with no aid. You went on academic probation after your first semester. By the time you finish your first year in college, you ain't getting no aid. You done messed it up all the way. So maybe you went back to school. You had to drop out. All of your friends that you knew from college are from your freshman year, because you didn't even make it to your sophomore year. It happens. Yes, it really, really happens. Same thing, chicks go up to school, start being all promiscuous. I mean, some people don't handle freedom, their first taste of real independence. Some of them don't handle it very well. So he went up to school, got pregnant. Smart as a whip. Was projected to be somebody, maybe the second coming of Kamala Harris. What did you do? Went up there, fell in love or became a hoe, got knocked up. Came back home with a belly. A degree. I'm on academic probation and I'm pregnant. It happens. You didn't flunk out because you couldn't do the material. You flunked out because you didn't even go to class. You don't even know what the material is. You was doing good in started in August. You was doing good in September, October. Something happened somewhere around the harvest moon. I'm just kidding. Like the end of September, I don't know. Things just start falling apart. Start falling in with the wrong crowd. You might have never failed a test before. You sure did in October. So anyway, met a boy up there. Start sexing all crazy. I'm pregnant. Oh God. Well, anyway, so you might have went back to school. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my degree. I'm taking online classes, whatever. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna go ahead and finish. It's a good thing. This is your State of the Union. This is your State of the Union. What's going on, y'all? Carol Chamber, Lemmy, Friendly, Favorita. Always a good time to see you, my brother from another mother, Norris Hill. Sit back, relax, do your thing. Max and chill. And to carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Mia Cunningham, thanks for coming on through. Time to take a stand. And Stacey White, what's going on? Glad to see you tonight. And my brother, Ansel Jones, Baltimore brother. Girls can't leave him alone. What's up, y'all? So do y'all get it? Do y'all get it? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? All right. Let me see. So you think you could give that speech, Carol? You said I've grown some. How tall are you now? How tall? Oh, you mean like grown emotionally, mentally? Okay. You've matured. Okay, that's what's up. Not for work, but my self growth. That's what's up. And so Jones says generations of families in the same public houses. It happens. It really does. Narcille says no child left behind is a slogan for the prison pop line. You ain't never done lied. You ain't never done lied. It's true. Mia says state of my union isn't so good right now. From last year. Okay. Well, I'm sure that we all have things that we probably didn't get accomplished last year, things that we might still be working on. But that can actually turn out to be a good thing because it is this year versus last year. See, the president has the benefit of people writing these speeches for him. If he probably had to do it himself, imagine what that would be like. Any of these presidents of the United States. What if they had to clock their own accomplishments? Of course, they're going to forget things, but they know, their speechwriters know, they know the pulse of the American public, and they know exactly what the American public wants to hear. I'm sure that there have been times when the presidents didn't agree with what he had to say. Like, well, why can't I just talk about how, that I figuratively smacked them damn Republicans up. We was going at it. We pretty much kicked them in the guts and the nuts. Like, Mr. President, we can't talk about that. We can't seem divisive. Man. All right. So I wouldn't, if you didn't have such a great 2022, to me, that just gives you a better incentive to have a better 2023. And you also have to think about the reasons that you may not have had a lot of great things to talk about in 2022. Were they all your fault? Did you fall down on the job? Were you getting high when you were supposed to be sober? You know, 2022 was rough for a lot of people. I mean, it really was. It was rough for a lot of people. And it's funny because when we start talking about giving the state of the union address in your personal life, think about it. Most of the stuff that you could talk about, you still wouldn't talk about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, it would be so hard because you would have to think like, well, there's some things that I've done internally and outright that I don't, they're accomplishments for me. But I don't really think everybody should know that shit. It happens. It definitely happens. Like, I mean, you could have found a way to get something back that was taken from you, like on some OJ Simpson shit. You know, OJ Simpson would have never had to have done time if he would have went about getting his stuff back on the low. But he felt like he had the right to get his shit back, and he did. But with so many, with the people who were determining his fate really believing that he escaped justice before, they wasn't going to allow him to do it again. So you might pad the things that you say. But everybody has some personal accomplishments that they had from last year. You know what I mean? Even if let's say you were sick last year, like maybe you even missed most of last year. If you're not still sick this year, or if you are still working on your recovery or whatever, it's probably a good thing. It is a good thing. It's not probably. Let me see. Okay. No, it says guts and nuts. That's right. Mia Cunningham says, definitely grateful because last year I was almost out of here, but this year I'm alive and breathing and have the opportunity to get it right. Wow. You know, that's not a small thing. That's not a small thing. You see, things have been crazy since 2020. Wow. Absolutely Nars, Carol. And Carol, the fact that I can walk on my own is a miracle. Coming back stronger mentally, physically, and shoot. Yeah. It's bad when you're in the fire, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, when a new year starts, it doesn't fix everything that was broken. But if you're working on some shit, I wouldn't discount that. You're working on it. You know how people say, like I put a lot of stock in trying. Like, how can you do anything if you never try? And some people be like, no, you can't think about the word try. You have to think about the word do it. I'm like, well, do it is not one word. Doing it is like we was doing it. That is one word, but do it is not one word. It's two. But you have to try. The harder you try, the more likely that you're going to get it right. But you do have to try. The try is the thought that comes before the attempt. And the attempt is the try. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. Let's see. Nora says that takes me back to 2015 going forward. Carol says, I'm sure it seems like a miracle, but your determination is what made it happen. True story. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Surely, sure, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. That's what I'm talking about. What's going on, y'all? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Getterism Show, and we are talking about the state of the union in your own life, your annual review. No, not on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. After we are 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in, let's talk about it now. What's up now, mother? Up now, mother. But now, mother. My mom called me yesterday, complaining, talking about the Super Bowl. They put the Super Bowl on my birthday. I was like, look, lady, you about to be 82 years old. Ain't you blessed enough? I said, don't you realize that on especially in the city of Philadelphia, everybody will be celebrating your birthday? They're gonna be cheering and changing your birthday song to EAGLESE. He was like, I know, but man, and she was just pump faking because she don't care. She don't care. But yeah, when you move the needle from I don't know, empty to full, empty to quarter tank, empty to half a tank, you're moving it. You're moving it. And it is something to be proud of. It is something to feel accomplished about. It is something to, pat yourself on your own back for. And other people see it too. You know what I mean? If you ever confused about whether you have been doing anything good in life, go to one of your haters. They'll let you know. Your haters will let you know if you've done anything worthy. Because they're going to try to tell you that whatever you did wasn't shit. That wasn't nothing. And that's when you know that you've done something. At least it should tell you that. You got to believe in yourself. And I believe that everybody should believe in themselves in a big way. Your State of the Union address, baby. Your State of the Union. State of the Union. With version. All right, anyway. Yeah, many people have repaired relationships that were broken in the past year. And that's not a small thing. And when I say relationships, I'm not even talking about romantic relationships. But you may have shitted on somebody. And this is what I'm talking about when I say there might be some things that you might want to talk about, that you might be thinking about, that you might not want to talk about. You might have shitted on somebody that found out that you shitted on them. Or somebody might have thought you shitted on them that you didn't shit on, and you were able to get that back together. That's not a small thing. You know what I mean? Some of us can just look back on relationships that have soured and say, well, you win some, you lose some. People come and go. Is reason, season. They out. I know the reason, and I know that this is the season. Cuffing season is over, so it's over like Rover. But I have no power. Time to take a shower. I'm unclean, kind of dirty and flirty. You're doing all this kind of things about 7:30. 7:42. What we going to do? What you going to do? You know what they're going. All right. But yeah. it may be the case where you have put back together a professional relationship. You know, you and somebody else used to get money. And for whatever reason, they stopped messing with you. Or for whatever reason, you stopped messing with them. But now y'all back. And y'all got a chance to start getting money. Let me tell y'all something, man. At my job, they weren't paying the people who work in my department a lot of money compared to other people in the same industry. Locally, we was coming up short. And of course, the people who work at my job was feeling some kind of way about it. Some of them left and went and got better jobs. Some of them stayed and only did the bare minimum because they felt like I ain't making no money here. I'm not going to bust my ass for this. It's understandable and unethical at the same time, but it happens. But this year, they stepped up to the plate and they are giving them raises. So now they're actually competitive. They're competitive in the market now, locally. So you go to other places that do what we do, and now it's going to be more worth it to stay where we are. To me, that's not only the company's State of the Union, but it's also the employees' State of the Union. Because at least now they're going to start to see the fruits of their labor. They could have left and gone and had gone somewhere else and probably made more money or whatever, but they wouldn't have had that time in. So I don't care whether you only have a few years in here, 5 years in here, double-digit years in here. Now that you're finally making some decent money that you should have been making a long time ago, but at least now they have delivered. And so your time in will be worth it when it's time for you to go out. That sounds like some State of the Union worthy stuff right there. Even though you didn't control you getting that raise, you stayed the course. You stayed the course. You didn't bail out. And you were able to make it happen. You know, that is satisfaction and appreciation worthy. Carol Chamberlain says, "You're wrong for that, Omar." Shaking my head, celebrate your mom. I am. Look, her birthday is February 12th every year. So is Dita's. They already know we're going to take care of them. It's just that their birthday happens to fall on the Super Bowl. You know, February 11th is good. And so is February 13th. They know. They know. She wasn't even really upset. She just called, you know. She wasn't even thinking about it. You know, but that lady gonna be 82 years old this year. Shoot, she's done a lot. Imagine what some of her State of the Unions might be, whatever. You know, it's easy to get down on yourself. It is. It's easy to get down on yourself when things don't work out the way that you had planned. You know how they say the best laid plans go awry. You know what I'm saying? Murphy's Law, what could go wrong will go wrong. You know, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you get lucky, but hard work brings on good luck. hard work. Conceiving things in your mind, writing them down, planning your work, working your plan. The luck seems to come through that because you're not even depending on all luck. You're actually depending on yourself to get it done, and you're doing it. So keep moving, but keep letting yourself know that you are trying, you are doing things, and the things that you are doing are worthy of being expressed. You don't have to tell anything that you don't want to tell, but just know that something you're doing is the right thing. Don't let all of the bad things overshadow the good things that you have made happen. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Everything is going to be all right. Work your plan, and everything is going to be all right. And everything is going to be all right. Enjoy your fruits of labor. And everything is going to be all right. And everything is going to be all right. Take your time, ma. And everything is going to be all right, yo, son. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be okay. All right. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Daily Go Get It Show, State of the Union in your own life. State of the Union in your own life. I like this. My brother from another mother, Norris Hill, says, I think I've learned the difference between luck and reward. There's definitely a difference between luck and reward. You have to do something to get a reward. Luck is like, yeah, you definitely committed the crime, but somehow somebody couldn't identify you. They could not name you as the assailant. You know what I mean? The cops never came knock on your door. They knocked on somebody else's door. And they couldn't even tell on you. Nobody seen you. You know in your heart of hearts, yeah, I did that. I wish I didn't do it, but I did it. And I'm hoping I don't get caught. I hope that I don't get caught. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Reward is like, yo, man, you did a good job. People were looking at you. You didn't even know they was looking, but they were. They were looking at you, and they were impressed with what you did. They liked how you represented, this faction, this entity, this business. And so not only are we going to kick you down with a few extras, but we going to bring you in. We're going to let you start having stock in this thing. Yeah, you getting shares. When we get paid as a company, you going to get paid. For so long as you shall be here. That's your reward. Guns coast to coast. What's going on? Guns coast to coast. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Em Show. Appreciate you coming through. But yeah, the state of the union in your own life. Shoot. It could be the biggest of the biggest things. It could be the smallest of the smallest things. You might have landed the biggest contract of your life, or you might have finally got your self-esteem up to be able to stop wearing baseball caps and scullies every day because you was trying to hide a bald spot. You know how that go? And that's male or female. Yes, it is. Male or female. You know how it is. Every man does not handle baldness the same way. But you can best believe when a man wears a baseball cap every day, he don't like what's under it. True indeed. You can easily get used to looking the way that you look with a baseball cap on some porno star Mr. Marcus shit. Anybody know about the porno star Mr. Marcus? He always wore a damn baseball cap. That was like his signature thing. Like, what you missed him? You missed the Marcus outside of these films? Carol Chamberlain says, I've learned to release relationships that didn't serve me and put energy into relationships that have a purpose in my life. I can dig it. The last thing I would encourage anybody to do is to get on a merry-go-round or a treadmill of negative, toxic, and unhealthy relationships. It ain't easy hating what you a part of every day. It ain't easy. It's hard. It can be very difficult. But yeah. Like I said, same thing with women. There are plenty of women out here that have nice long hair or whatever, but they have gotten so used to wearing weaves and wigs and all that kind of stuff that they'll stuff all of their good hair into the damn wig or under the wig or just weave some more hair onto it. So maybe you got past that. Maybe you got past that to the point where you can finally wear your hair out. I can dig it. Sounds good to me. Shout out to my people who have lost weight. Might have finally dropped those pounds. I know that's what I gotta do this year. I mean, shit is bad. It's getting bad over here. But I know what I gotta do. One thing I didn't want to accept is that it does get harder as you get older. People kept saying that, and I said that's just an excuse. There's proof that you can lose weight and still get in shape at any age. But the proof just isn't really there. It's not that strong. It does become a little bit more difficult. But it's not impossible. It is more difficult, but it's not impossible. If it's not impossible to gain weight, then it can't be impossible to lose weight. Now, they aren't on the same scale, pun intended, but they can be done. So maybe last year you dropped a couple of pounds. I don't care if you only dropped a couple of pounds because you were sick. You dropped them. They gone. They still off. You ain't been sick in 4 or 5 months. Yeah, I called you fat. Look at me. I'm skinny. It never stopped me from getting busy. Speaking of which, did we lose Shock G, Humpty Hump? Did we lose him in 2022 or was that 2021? Emily, when did Shock G die? Oh, that was 20. Dang, it's been 2 years. Almost a full 2 years now. April
90 seconds.
April 22nd, 2021. Well. You know, any of y'all who have a Macy's
60 seconds.
who has a Macy's card or a Macy's account, you know how much they be spamming you. They be like, yo, buy. We having a sale today. We had a sale yesterday. Where was you yesterday? You know, we got a sale later on in the day. We got a sale coming up early in the morning. So as soon as you get up, rise and shine, buy something, open that app up. And lately I've been noticing like they coming harder and harder and harder. I was like, dang, what up, Macy's? What you doing? So I went to the app and I checked my balance because I know I paid them the other day. And I was like, how much do I have left on this card? Because I might just go ahead and close it out. I went over to the joint, opened up the app, and I went to my balance. And I only owed like very, very little
10
money.
seconds.
You know, under $200. I owe very little money. Then I went over to my credit limit, and I see they had raised me $1,500. I was like, y'all mother. And I was thinking, like, I haven't had that card for a whole year. Haven't had it for a year yet. So I was like, has my credit score changed? Like, why would they increase my credit score? Just because I had on-time payments, but not even a year's worth? Well, things happen. But that happened, and I was like, maybe that's why they've been pressing so much. Like, yo, did you know you got more money? Maybe you wasn't spending no money because you ain't feel like you had enough room. Now you got lots of room. Just in time for tax time. Tax refund. You get tax refund? You get tax refund according to your financial information. You get tax refund. Here, you hurry up and buy. Open up app and buy. Open up app and buy. I don't know. I might still. He said, Carol said, Macy's has a sale every day. I mean, I'd be like, come on, man. Every day? They'd be like 50% off. You open up the app, like, this ain't 50% off. We set up to 50%. What you want? I was like, well, I wanted that over there. We can give you 15%. 15 sounds like 50, but it's not. Listen, man. Go ahead and buy it. Matter of fact, get something for somebody else. I was like, man, these cats is crazy. I'm like, where do I shut off notifications? Y'all wilding. G. Carey Wright says that Norris, the motivation isn't as strong as we get older because now we aren't trying to impress people on the same level. Oh, wait. I missed this part. Norris says 85 pounds over the past 5 years is proof that it takes longer the older we get. Norris says, for me, I didn't grow up being fat, so it was depressing. That sounds reasonable to me, Norris. Yo. You know what I mean? I had a doctor's appointment last week. I got on the scale. I saw the number. I was ready to rumble. I'm like, y'all gonna judge it? Y'all judging? Y'all judging? Like, Mr. McIntyre, we ain't saying nothing. I'm like, whatever, man. You know what I mean? I only weigh this much because I kept my phone in my pocket and my keys. Y'all know my keys weigh a lot. And so does my phone. And I had my headphones case in my pocket, you know, the earbuds. Plus, I had my glasses on. Should have took them shits off. Look, this the shit women do before they stand on the scale. They got, it's getting bad out here. We gotta do these birthday shout outs. It's getting bad out here, son. We gotta do these birthday shout outs. G. Carey Wright says, positive payment history over 6 to 12 month period will raise your credit limit. It didn't. Oh, your limit. Okay. Mia says, I got a nice Marc Jacobs style check. Did you get the joint with the fur around it? Because I seen it. I seen it on the app. Did you get green? You know what I mean? Macy's is a bitch, boy. Carol says, Macy's just sent me an American Express card and coupons for my birthday. Not bling. Not biting. You ain't biting on it? All right. Mia says, LOL. Yes, I got coupons for my birthday too. This is y'all. Yo, let's do these birthday shout outs. We got some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. February 7th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Snow Taylor, turning 45 years old today, and Roe Charles, turning 45 years old today also. And also Marvian Donegal, turning 53 years old today, and Blanche Bayard, turning 71 years old today, and Lola Williams, turning 60 years old today, and Amanda Cruz Almonte, turning 31 years old today, and Rachel Mendoza, happy birthday to you, and Nikki Lyles, turning 56 years old today, and Angie B, happy birthday to you, and to T Witherspoon, turning 30 years old today, and Bill D. Conway, happy birthday to you. And my man going all the way back to the 1981. I said the 1981. My man Daryl, Mr. Get It Done James. Daryl James, my nigga. Oh, shit. He wasn't last but not least. It was more. My bad. Gregory Hev Dees turning 53 years old today. And Michelle Thomas. Oh, man. That's actually a posthumous birthday. Michelle Thomas passed in 2015. Rest in peace. She would have been 62 years old today. Now, also, Missy Boss Lady Bryant, happy birthday to you. And Tiffany Bacon. You know, Tiffany Bacon, the radio personality, Power 99 FM. Happy birthday to you. And last but not least, going all the way back to the 1985, my girl Nicole Webb Henry, turning 52 years old today. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious. February 7th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. And I almost forgot. I did forget. I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So this State of the Union address, your personal State of the Union address, stay the course, y'all. You know, some of y'all may have been through a whole lot last year, but remember at the beginning of the year, you were probably screaming that it was going to be your year. Now, we probably try to do that every year of our lives, and sometimes things work out better than other years, but you want to keep that positive outlook at the beginning of every year. And when that year is over, you still need to take stock because this life is a journey. Life is a journey. You know, it doesn't end until it's over. All these tears I cry, all this pain inside. Baby, it ain't over till it's over. So many years I've cried. Okay. It's kept the love alive. Baby, it ain't over till it's over. All right. All right. So just remember that. So you don't owe anybody any State of the Union address for your personal life, but you know what's going on because you know what happened. You know why. But we can make it if we try. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another daily Go Get It show. So make sure that y'all come through so we can do what we got to do. Say what we want to say. Be who we want to be. All right. So Blog Talk, we're going to get you out of here. Yeah.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
And for
Goodbye.
my YouTubers, you know just how we do. But thanks for coming on through. See you on the other side, my boobers. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to share the show. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet.